in this puzzle, we need to see that the letters and the lines are going together. And we have to read the letters with the growing lines, so the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. If we go this way, we got A, G, O, N, Y, which gives us agony, and that is the secret word. In this puzzle, we need to follow the instructions here to see what really is hidden in this image. We go through dot to dot, along with the lines, and what we see is the lightning sign, and this is the password for this puzzle. To solve this puzzle, we need to know the alchemical names of both fire and water, and write them down where the book tells us to. The next step is to see the smoke on the mountains. We need to find out which letters correspond to the smoky mountains. This is the second one, so it will be the letter L, and then I, D, and in the word ignis, it will be N and I, which gives us Lidny, which is the solution of this puzzle. In this puzzle, we need to recreate water, which consists of 2 H's and 1 O in different shapes. Each O must be connected vertically or horizontally to 2 H. And as we can see here, no 2 O's can ever touch, not even diagonally. So let's start with the real puzzle. Let's take a look at this H. It can be connected with O and another H only in one way, here. So we know that another O's cannot be here, 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 nor here. And then we go forward. This H can be connected only downwards, and this O had only one other H. So again, here and here. O here couldn't be connected to 2 H's, so it will remain empty. Once again, this H can be connected only to the right, and we have only one other H. This H again can be connected only to the right, and we have only one different H here. We mark the spots that must be empty. This H can be only connected to the up, and O to the left. This spot must be empty because there are no 2 H nearby. This H must be connected to the left, and this one to the right because it has no other way to connect to O, which means that this H is going down and connects to this H. That gives us the solution. Then we have to see in the app what answer format is required and input it. In this puzzle, we need to connect the planets that we see here and find out where the lines will intersect for the first, second, and third set of planets. So let's begin. The first set. This is this planet, and this one is here. So we go. And we have sunlight, star here, and the black void planet. And they cross at the letter E. We'll do the same with the second set of planets. We go here. And then I did something wrong. Oh no, it's this one. Great. So we have R. And then the third one. And this one. Which gives us the solution, era. solve this puzzle, we need to know the values of fire and water. The value of fire is 628 and the value of water is 222. We need to see that there are mathematical signs here, which is addition, and subtraction. If we add the first digits, 6 plus 2, we get 8. If we add the second digits, 2 plus 2, it's obviously 4. And then we have subtraction. From 8, we have to subtract 2, and the result is 6. So the final answer is 846. To solve this puzzle, we need to know the alchemical name for the earth, which is terrata. We need to find exactly this name in this whole underground diagram, and it will be here obviously a few times. I will just show you where to find it. One is here. One is here. And one is here. If you look at the shapes that they gave us, you will see the answer, 525. This is one of the more complex puzzles in this book. First of all, we need to take a look at those spiders. They are telling us something about the letters or the values. Let's take a look at this one first, y plus 11. If we calculate the number of spider web parts here, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 11 on the right plus 11. This one is minus 8. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spider web parts to the left. We need to do the same with all the other spiders. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 4. This one is minus 8, 9, minus 10, minus 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, minus 16, 17, 18, 19, minus 20. And the same on the right, 1, 2, 3, plus 3, plus 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, obviously, 12, 13, 14, plus 14. Now we need to use it to get our letters. We know that letter R shifted by 4 by minus 4 gives us N. Let's take a look at the alphabet. R shifted 4 times to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, will give us letter N. So those values are just shifting values of the letters in the alphabet. M shifted 10 to the left, 5, 10, it will be C. E, 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, I. We already know that this is N. C plus 11 is 5, 10, 11. And again, U minus 20, U, 5, 10, 15, 20, A. R minus 16, 5, 10, 15, 16, B. I minus 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, A. O plus 3, it will be 1, 2, 3, R. T minus 11, 5, 10, 11, I. And E plus 14, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, S. So the final answer is Cinnabaris, which is also the alchemical name of the Mercury. To solve this puzzle, we will need alchemical values of 3 different ingredients, which is salt, sulfur, and mercury. And we know that we need to use the book somehow. This shape did appear in the book once. It was exactly here. Salt on top, sulfur on the left, and mercury on the right. So I have already written the alchemical values of those 3 ingredients here. Now we just need to find the rule that will tell us what is the value of Aether. If we go by the white line, we can see that the digits here form 1, then 3, then 2, 4, 3 again, 5, and 2 values that we need to find out. We can see that it is easily constructed by adding 2 and subtracting 1. Adding 2, subtracting 1. Adding 2, subtracting 1, adding 2. So, the 2 missing values will be 5 minus 1, which is 4, and 4 plus 2, which is 6. And this is the solution to the puzzle. To solve this puzzle, we need to know already the alchemical names of Mercury, Lead, Philosopher's Stone, Water, and Aether. I have already written them down. So now let's read the instruction. Take a common part by position and spelling of Lead and Aether. Lead and Aether both has letter M at the same place. So the first letter will be M. And mix it with one of the mercury lines. Mercury lines will be simple lines. There are 2 lines in mercury, which are letters I. Take the part of mercury that doesn't appear elsewhere. Mercury. We need to find a letter that does not appear anywhere else. I think it's letter R. Yeah, it doesn't appear in any other alchemical name. And connect with alphabetically and list part of lead. Obviously, the first letter A that appears in lead is alphabetically the first. Add the only common part in direct line of Mercury and Aether. Mercury and Aether has only letter C at the same position. Pour it all into water vessel, one which you can pour from above. Water vessel where you can pour from above is letter U, because the shape tells us that we can pour something from the above. Now use the only double connection between water and lead. Water and lead. There are 2 letters that are at the same place. L-U. Finish everything the way the Philosopher's Stone tells you to. The Philosopher's Stone last letter is M. Therefore, the solution to this puzzle is Miraculum. In this puzzle, we need to take a closer look at the alchemical symbol of lead. We will need to find this symbol in this pretty complicated diagram. We have another hint here. We have 5 bags of probably lead, which tells us that we will need to find 5 places in this diagram where this symbol appears. Let me show you the first one so that you know what I am talking about. The first one is here. You can see that if we circle this out, the remaining parts form this symbol. We need just 4 more. The second one is here. Another one is here. Then here. And here. The note tells us that we need to go from left to right when writing answer. So the first one to the left is letter A, then letter N, then letter D, R, and A. So the solution to this puzzle is Andra. In this puzzle, we have a little poem about a chalk, which is one of the products of limestone, and we have to deduce from it a solution, the magic word. So let's read it aloud. It's a bit fleeting yet permanent, always leaves a lasting ornament. There are no hidden clues here. But then, with color of salt and smell of bones, which tells us to take a look at the salt, and then there is bones somewhere. Yeah. So let's take a look at that salt. We have letter S hidden here on the page. And let's take a look at the bones. We have letter A. With color of salt and smell of bones, if exposed to single moon tones. Single moon is exactly the symbol of silver. So we need to take a look at the silver. And we have letter M here. It will soften like a jot of lead, although worth less than a thin shred. Jot of lead obviously leads us to lead, which has letter U. Thin shred points us at the tin. We have letter E here. Its absence can easily become tragic, so call it almighty amber of magic. This is reference to the amber. We have letter L here. You surely know that we speak of a chalk. Find out who used it and then we'll talk. The one who used it is Samuel, because this is the solution of this puzzle. To solve this puzzle, we need to know alchemical name and value of alcohol, which is Vositos 58. Let's take a look at all the values here. We have 71, 46, 58, and 32. We can see that they use 8 different digits, from 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This tells us which digits we need to take and use for our opium. The first one is the first letter from Tispikra, which is letter T. Then the second and third from Cinnamonum. It will be I the second and N the third. Then the fourth letter from, I don't know how to read this, this will be just C. Fifth letter of alcohol, which is T. Sixth letter of this horrible name, which is O. Yes, it's O. Seventh letter of Tispika, which is R. And eighth letter of Vositos, which is E. And there we have our solution, Tinctore. To solve this puzzle, we will need to use the whole book somehow. But the first part is deciphering this message. It is Morse code, which we can find in alchemical alphabet, and I have already written the solution of it. Tin balls go through the corners of the passing pages. What does it mean? If we take a look at pages of the book, at the top right corner, some of them will have little balls, and some of them don't. And this is exactly needed for this puzzle. We have another hint here that when there are two balls, they form a line. So if we will have two thin balls in the corner, they should be treated as a line in the Morse code. Which is also important that when we have one blank corner, it means that it is separate part of a letter. When we have two blank corners, it means this is end of the letter. So let's go. We have here dots and then nothing. So we have dot. Then we have dot dot. So this will be a line. And then we have two blank pages. So we will have another letter. And so on. Single dot. Here is a dot. Then we will have two dots, which form a line. Then single dot, break, and single dot. And then two blank corners. And we could go on through the entire page, but I will just tell you what we will get from that. We will have dot line, line, dot line, dot line, 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 dot dot, dot line, and two lines. Now we have to just use again the same alphabet and get the solution. It will be A, L, A, K, A, Z, A, M. So the answer to the puzzle is Alakazam. To solve this puzzle, we will need the values of Aether, Nether, and Meteorite. I have already written them down. There are 12, 5, and 15 also here. Now we need to take a look at the clocks. The first one, the round one, shows us the correct time, while the other two are showing us somehow skewed time. On this clock we can see 9:55, and on this one we can see 11:50. We need to find the rule that tells us how to translate those times to this. We can see that the shapes of the clocks are different, so they are probably important. This clock has 4 corners, and we see that we need to add 4 to the hour of shown here to get the hour to the clock, and also we need to add 40 to the minutes. So if we take a look at the corners, add their number to the hour and their number times 10 to the minutes, we will get the time of the clock. Let's see if it works here. We have 2:2, and we have 8 corners. If we add 8 to 2, we will get 10, and then we need to add 80 to the 30, so it would be 110. It obviously is not the correct time because each hour has 60 minutes, so this gives us 11:50, which corresponds with the time on the clock. So let's do the same here. We have 12:30 and 3 corners on the clock. So we will need to add 3 to the hour, it will be 15, and 30 to the minutes, it will be 60. Once again, each hour has 60 minutes, so it's not the correct time. The correct time is 16 or 4. And both of those are correct answers to this puzzle. In this puzzle, we once again need to use the book somehow. In the text and on the page, we can see that there are rings commonly found in the trees. We can see on the corresponding pages that we have 1 such ring, 2 of those, and 3 of those, and on the other side 1, there is actually a little printing glitch. There should be 2 rings here, and we have 3 rings here. And we need to take a look at the history of the tree in the way that is written around. So, the first one in this corner is after 3 parts of the ring. So we go 3 pages to the left, we have 3 parts of the ring here, and the letter, the digit 2. The second one is also the same way, but after 2 lines, so we need to find the digit 7 here. And the third one is on the right page, so we will go to the right, and it's near just the first ring. So we need to find a page with 1 ring and the digit 5. So the solution to this puzzle will be 275. I must admit this is one of my favorite puzzles because you either get it quickly or you can be stuck on this one forever. It's very abstract. To solve it, we need value alchemical names of 3 different ingredients, which is fire, lead, and the third one I forgot the name. Let me check it, and iron. What we have here is a diagram that shows us some way to use all those 3 ingredients to get the promised silver. First, what we need to see is the fact that the names have different lengths, and those lines also have different lengths. The longest one corresponds to Plumbumas, the middle one Ferraium, and the shortest one Ignis. They also have one common part, and it will be the same as the common part of those alchemical names, which is letter I. So let's just write letter I here, and then go with all the other letters around. So, Plumbumas, the longest one, could be written here. Then Ferraium, the middle one, would go this way. We have I here, so we have to write A and M this way, and Ferra this way. And the shortest one is Ignis, which would go this way. Now we just have to follow this arrow. So we will have S, A, B, N, A, U. And this is the solution to this puzzle. To solve this puzzle, we will not need any other ingredients. It's the puzzle on this page only. We have a few graves of animals, and we see the birth year and the death year of the animals. What we need to do first is to determine their actual lifespan. This one, probably a cat, lived 14 years. This one, probably also a cat. Are all of them cats? I hope so. I love cats. Here we have 61. The middle one, the lifespan of 12 years. This one lived 14 years again. And this one was very long living cat. I would love to have a cat like that. 74 years. We need to determine the year of the birth of this one. Hopefully a cat also, but it might be something completely different. We can also see their bones. They are surely important because everything in those puzzles is important. Let's start with the middle one, 12. The first digit is 1, which corresponds with the Roman value of a single bone that is here. But then we have 2. We can see that this bone has bone ending upwards. So we will assume that this means add 1 to this digit. So this is 1, this is 1 plus 1. Let's take a look here. We have Roman number 2 with the bones, but one of them has ending downwards, and we need to have 1 from that. So what we have to do is subtract the number of endings down. 2 minus 1 equals 1. And then again here we have number 2 written here. And as we have seen before, we need to add plus 1 for each bone ending going up. We have 2 bone endings up, so we have 2 plus 2, which equals 4. Let's see if this holds for the others. 74, this is Roman number 5, and 2 bone endings upwards, so 5 plus 2, it fits. This is Roman number 3, 2 bone endings up, 1 bone ending down, so we have 3 plus 2 minus 1, which equals 4. The same goes here, we have 5 plus 1, and simply 1, which is 6 and 1. We have here 1 plus 1 minus 1, and 5 minus 1, so this is obviously 1, and this is obviously 4. Let's take a look at the final grave. This is Roman number 10, and we have 1 bone ending downwards, so we will have 10 minus 1, which is 9. This is Roman number 5 with 1 bone ending up, so it's 5 plus 1, it will be 6. And here we have 1 with 1 bone ending down, so it's 1 minus 1, it's 960. So this little bastard lived 960 years, so it had to be born in the year 1020. And this is the solution to the puzzle. In this puzzle we don't need any other ingredients, but we will have to connect the lines with the same symbols using those 6 little squares. I have prepared myself the cut-off pieces so that you will see better what I am doing, but it is completely solvable without that. First of all, we need to see that the 4 corners have similar patterns of wires going in, but only one of them had it little different. So we can know that, for example, A will fit those 3 corners, but not corner number 1. Only letter F can fit here. So we know for sure that we will have to start with letter F here. Let's see what can fit into number 2. We can try letter B, but then we will have 2 different signs connected. We can try letter A, and then everything so far would be good. And we can try letter E, where once again we would have 2 different signs connected here. So in this part we have to put letter A. Then at the places of 3 and 4 we can only use C and D. We can see that C is completely symmetric, so it doesn't matter which way we put it. So we can put it in 3 or 4, but its shape, its orientation doesn't matter. While letter D has some variation to it. Let's take a look at the bottom for a while. We can see that this symbol will need to go here. This symbol will need to connect here. This symbol will need to be connected here, and this symbol here. If we will put letter C here, let's take a look at this one, then we would need to... Can we put letter D somehow so it works? I think this is the only orientation where this line goes downwards. And then we would need to have letter B here. So this symbol fits. Let's see if it will be the proper solution. We have this symbol, which goes all the way up to the same symbol. We have this symbol, which goes all the way up to the same symbol. And this one goes all the way here. This symbol is connected to the same symbol here. This symbol is connected to the same symbol here. So, we have correct solution. It will be FABCBE. In this puzzle, we need to know the alchemical value of fire, which is 628. We need to write those digits here as seen, so this one is 6 and this one is 28. And now we have a math problem to solve. I know everybody loves math problems, so let's go through it. 6 nails in total have value of 6. So a single nail has a value of not 2, 1. This one is 2, this one is 3. So value of this one is 2. And now we have 2 horseshoe and 1 side plus 2 equals 28. But we also know that side is 2 horseshoe with nails in it. You need to see that those horseshoe have already nails in it. So these two are the same as 2 times horseshoe plus 2 times 5, which is 10. So if we put this information here, this is 2 horseshoe plus 10, and this is 2 horseshoe. We can see that 4 horseshoe plus 12 equals 28, which means that 4 horseshoe equals 28 minus 2 minus 10, which is 16. So the value of a simple horseshoe is 4. What we need to find now is how much we would pay to have the horse fit with all 4 horseshoe, obviously with nails, because you need something to put the horseshoe on the horse. So what we need to find is 4 times horseshoe plus 5 nails, which equals 4 times 4 plus 5, which is 36. And this is the solution to the puzzle. In this puzzle, we need to use all the books somehow. We can see parts of images here, and what we will do now is we'll try to find all those images in the book. I have already done so that you won't have to watch how I am going through all the book. I will just show you where they are. The bottom one is here from Black Tourmaline. I believe it's this part. So let's use the symbol of Tourmaline for now. Then, at the page of Silver, we have this little wood stump. So this one is Silver. Then, at the page of a tin, we have those little skulls on the chalices. So this one is tin. Then we have lead, where we have these parts of the back. I believe it's this one. No, it's this one. And finally, we have some salty stone here. I believe it's this one. So this is salt. Now we need to know alchemical values of all those ingredients. I have those prepared, so lead is 23. Moon Oh, sorry, silver is 89. Tin is 52. Salt is 33. And black tourmaline is 45. What we finally need to do, as written here, put ingredient values in ascending order. It will be 23, 33, 45, 52, and finally 89. All those 10 digits are the answer to the puzzle. To solve this puzzle, we need to have already solved the mushroom puzzle, which you can see here. Also, we will need alchemical name of water, which is fluidos. I will read now the description, because this time here are all the information you will need. Of all methods of making alcohol, using mushrooms seems most appealing. This probably isn't right in the real world, don't try it. Choose the poisonous ones, which the water will not touch, and you will find the perfect mix. Lay down comfortable and look closely at mushrooms that are left. So, choose the poisonous ones, which the water will not touch. We need to rule out the edible mushrooms at first. This is pretty easy, because we have already found them. Which the water will not touch. The water's name is fluidos, and remember, it has alchemical significance, so if we have to rule out mushrooms that water did touch, we will rule out those with the same letters. So, F, L, U, I, D, O, F. It doesn't look like anything yet, because there is one last very important instruction. Lay down comfortable and look closely at mushrooms that are left. If we will lay down near the mushrooms and look at them, we'll probably look at them rotated by 90 degrees. And then we can clearly see what we mean. This is letter U, and this is letter S. So, the final solution to the alcohol is pretty simple to spell, even if you are under the influence of alcohol. It's simply oof. To solve this puzzle, we don't need any other ingredients. We just need to follow the instructions. We need to find 4 edible mushrooms with 3 rules. First of all, each mushroom must have a different hat. We can see that there are 4 kinds of hats here: white, black, black and white, or white with black. The spaces they occupy cannot touch even diagonally. This will be very important later on. Each edible mushroom has at most one common feature with any of its horizontal or vertical neighbors, which means that if 2 horizontal or vertical neighbors, like let's say here, have the same leg and the same hat, none of them can be edible. And the same goes also with this little bottom that I don't know the name. So let's go through the diagram. As I have said already, none of those 2 can be edible. This one does not have 2 common features with any of its neighbors, so it potentially can be edible. This one has the same leg and the bottom as this one, so both of them cannot be edible. Those 2 have the same hats and bottoms, so none of them is edible. This one is for now a candidate for edible mushroom. And let's go further. The same leg and hat between those 2. This one, I believe, is another candidate for edible mushroom. This one has the same. No, this one is also candidate. Now, those two, the same leg and the same hat. Those two has the same hats and the same bottoms. These two are okay for now. Those two have the same hats and legs, so none of them can be edible, and the same goes for those two. So, rule number 3 did in fact rule out a lot of mushrooms already. We have just those two, those two, those two, and those two as our potential candidates. The spaces they occupy cannot touch even diagonally, so this means at most one of those two is edible, at most one of those two, at most one of those two, and at most one of those two. So we have 4 edible mushrooms, so we need one from here, one from those two, and one from those two. If W would be edible mushroom, then none of those two could be edible too, because of the second rule. So we need to rule out W and take B as one of the edible mushrooms. Then, because each mushroom must have a different hat, we know that Q cannot be edible, so T has to be. And once again, from the same rule, M cannot be edible, A has to be, and L cannot be edible, E has to be. And if we follow this little arrow here, we can read the solution, which is beta. To solve this puzzle, we need alchemical names of silver and tin, and we need to work with them somehow. I have already written them down here. I will also write here the alchemical value of Cypanus, alchemical name, obviously. Now this symbol, it looks like symbol of moonstone, but it is also mirrored symbol of the silver. So if we split it in half, we will have silver symbol here, which is Anuplis, and its mirrored version, which is also Anuplis, but backwards. Now we have this mathematical sign, but there is no math involved. We just need to subtract those letters from the Silpuna Anuplis left to right. So first of all, we need to push out S, then I, then P, A, N, U, and S. And what is left is Lunapli, which is the solution to the puzzle. To solve this puzzle, we don't need any other ingredients or other parts of the book. Everything we need to know is on those 2 pages. On the left, we have an example from which we need to deduce the rules of the puzzle. Let's take a closer look at it. We have here a single vial that has no lines attached to it. We have those 2 vials that are forming a little diagonal in each cell, and they are in places which create the same shape. And the same goes with other shapes. Those 3 vials form shape of a corner, and they are placed in the diagram so that their cells form the same shape. The same goes with those 3, which are placed in the bottom right corner. Also those 3, once again, form something like top left corner. And finally these 4 ones, they form a tilted square. So we will have to do the same with the larger diagram. Let's start. This little shape is tilted square, just like we know from the example. Let's see how we can fit it. It cannot fit here, because we have something already. It could fit here. It could also fit here. It could not be larger, because we have here vials. So it's either this way or this way. Both of them require the same shape to appear here, so we can fit it out already. Then let's take a look at this one here. Can we deduce anything about it? Probably not yet. Let's see what we can do next. This shape, it can be here, here, or here. So nothing here. This one can be here or here. This one is very interesting because it is bottom right corner. It cannot go down from here. It cannot go left and right, so it's surely bottom left part. So bottom right will have to be here or here. But if it would go here, the third one would need to end up here. So the second one needs to go here, and the third one here. And these ones are already written in full. We will not go back to them. What it gives us? Probably something. Let's take a look at this shape. It's also very interesting, because we could have 3 here and 1 to the right, and it's probably the only one way, or we can jump by 2. But both of those shapes, this one and 2 up, 2 right, have this shape in the same place here. So we can write it down already. Now we can go back to this shape. It cannot anymore go to the top left and top right. So it obviously cannot fit here. So it's this part, this cell, is the top left part. So we need to go down right, and the only place to do so is here, and then back up again. This concludes the shape, so let's cross it out and not go back to it anymore. Now we can take a look at the bottom right, because we have filled in a lot. This one is shaped like a square, so we need to write a square. It cannot go here because this place is occupied. Those are occupied too. It can go here, and it could go here, but this place is occupied. So the only way we can write in the square is going here, here, and finally here. So the square is already written in full. We can cross this out. Now what we have left here at the right part is this little shape. We cannot write it anymore to the up. It cannot go down and right, so this one will have to be top right part. And we can input it here, here, and here, and in fact we don't have enough information yet. So let's go back. Bottom left corner. This one is obviously bottom left part, and we need remaining two. Here this is occupied. Here this is occupied. Here both are occupied. Here is the only possibility we can write it down. So let's do this and cross this out. They are done. We can go back to our tilted square because the bottom variant is already impossible, so it will have to go here and here, and it is solved. What we should do now? This one looks promising, but gives us nothing as far as I can see for now. This one. Okay. What we can write here? It is probably a pretty good question. Let's take a look at this cell. Okay, this cell needs to go with that one. It's the only possibility, or simply has one vial in it. But looking at this corner, we already have ruled out 2 of 3 possibilities here. So this corner can be written only this way. We can cross it out because it is done. So this one had 2 possibilities, this way or going 2 and here. But it cannot go this way because this place is occupied already, so it will need to go all the way up here, here. And this is done right now. This one, it could before go to the up, but now it's impossible. It has to go to the right by jumping by 2, so it goes to here, here, and here, and it is also done. Now, this little thing here needs another same shape in the same column. This is the only place left. This one diagonal needs to go to the bottom left. This is the only place left. We can rule this out. We have this corner, which needs 2 spaces. This one and this one are the only possibilities. And finally, we are left with only one place, so we will have to put a single vial in here. What we need to do now is use our alchemical alphabet to decode this password. This letter is M, A, T, R, A, T, and going top to the bottom, S, K, A again, R, K, N, I believe. So the final solution would be Matrat Skark. To solve this puzzle, we need alchemical values of quite a lot of ingredients. I have already written them down. And on the left, we have an example we have to follow. Let's focus on that for now. We can see that there's a single line going from the entry to the exit, going through all the white squares of the diagram. What we also see that if we would write the numbers 1, 2, 3, and so on of the loop, we will fit the values given. This is the 5th square that the line goes through, and this is the 15th. We need to do exactly the same with this diagram. So let's start. We cannot go right because it has to be 4, so we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if we take a look at the corners, we know that all the corners will need to be like this. And all the places, the tight places, like this, like this. Once again. We have square here, corner here, corner here. Okay, this diagram is 10 by 10, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black squares. So the last square is the square number 90. So this is the end of our way, and we can draw some more. We have corner here, corner here, corner here, corner here, corner here again. We have corner here. So 23 to 30, it's 7 squares, so it needs to go a bit around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, still not enough. So it will go either upwards or to the left, but this will be another corner. And oh, it may go down. So I might just have said something stupid. We will see in a moment. 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. So we need to go through 6 more squares before we go there. This is the only way. 78, 79, 80, 81, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. this corner is solved. We have corner here again, and then corner here, so there is no philosophy here. Again, we have some corners. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 40. Yes, this needs to connect. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great. We have some corners here, and we can now see that I was right. 23 will go upwards to the 30. And the only way it can do so is that way. 66, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, 60. And I believe we have solved the whole puzzle. To solve this puzzle, we don't need any other ingredients, but we need to use the book somehow. We can see that in the name of the ingredients, the word black is underscored, which means it must be important. This part of the page is black, but it doesn't seem like something that we can work with, but this page looks like it is torn apart. So we need to take a look at the book and try to find something similar. In fact, on the page of the copper, we have similar pattern. Torn parts of the page, this part is black, the rest is white. So, if we take a look at both those two pages, I will try to do so to the camera, and you would connect them, you will see that they form a number 423. And this is the solution to the puzzle. To solve this puzzle, we don't need any other ingredients, but we will have to use the book somehow. Let's read the description for amber, which is pretty important here. Amber is pretty common on Earth, yet people have made it very valuable. When some have way too much of it while others need it, it's best to enforce equal distribution. We can see arrows here going to the vehicle in the center. Also, we have 7 black stones and 1 shield here. What we can find on the pages near it is the page with black tourmaline, which is exactly the stone that lays here, and also the page with cosmic dust with the same shields as we can see here. Let's take a look at the symbol of the amber. It resembles something. If we will fold the pages exactly the same way as the arrows goes, I try to do it well, but we will see that the pages directs us to the word Mortema S. Mortema has 7 letters, so it fits what we needed, and S is a single letter. So the answer to this puzzle is Mortema S. To solve this puzzle, we need to have solved meteorites before, which we have already done. We also need to have marked places where meteorites clash. Let's start with reading the description of cosmic dust. Cosmic dust is created when meteorites crash with each other. Knowledge of places where such things occur gives you a chance of finding a bit of this substance. So, now we know why secret note tells us to mark the places where meteorites clash. We now have these letters here and the arrow that tells us to go from left to right. Let's take a look if we can use it with places where our meteorites clashed. If we fold the page, we can see that those letters corresponds to the rows in this grid. So, places of clashes. we'll have letter R. O, this one is M, and this one is I. And reading from left to right, they form word Romi, which is the solution to this puzzle. To solve this puzzle, we don't need any other ingredients or other parts of the book. Everything we need is on this page. So let's take a look at the description, which has important parts. To get parts of a meteorite, you need to know in advance where and when it will enter Earth's atmosphere. Watch their tails to know their speed, but be careful, for those that clash with each other will not reach Earth. So now we need what all this diagram is about. The length of the tail is the speed of meteorite or the Earth, and we need to find out which meteorites will collide with Earth and also when. So the solution will depend on which goes first, second, third, and so on. There is also a little note from our secret friend. Mark places where meteorites clash with each other. You will need it later. We will do just that because, who knows, they're probably right. So, let's begin. This is pretty complicated, but let's try out. When Earth goes on the first spot, all the other meteorites are after just one move, so none of them clashes here. Be could, but it's pretty close. When we go to the other place, we are after, so here nothing. We are after 2 moves. We can see that P will go through 2 moves to go there. V will be already somewhere else. And no other meteorite could be here at the time. P will go after 1 to this spot, and it will not clash with any other meteorite. So we can mark that P will clash with Earth here, and P will not clash with other meteorites here, because it will clash with Earth, so we can cross this out and forget about it for now. After 3 moves, our Earth would be here. Let's see if any of the meteorites will be at the same space at the same time. T was here 1 time unit ago, and no other meteorites are going here, so nothing here. Here we are after 4 moves, where most of the meteorites are already out of the diagram, but here will be also A. And A does not clash with anything else on its way, because X is going before A here, T will be right, and everything else is not going this way. So we will meet A here also. And then, after 5 time units here, both Earth and Meteorite M would be here. Meteorite M here doesn't clash with anything. Here also it doesn't clash with anything after 3 time units here, 4 time units here, so it will clash with Earth here. And finally, the 6th space, only Meteorite L is flying this way, but it will pass that spot a long time before Earth goes here, so it will not crash with anything. Now let's find out also the places where meteorites crash. We already know that P, A, and M will not, so let's go top to bottom. I has just 2 time units before it goes out, and here it won't meet anything, but here it will crash with Q. So let's mark this place, and we know that I and Q, because Q does not crash here with anything. L has just 1 time unit to clash with anything here, and it does not because nothing will be here. S will go to the left, and in 1 time unit, nothing else will be here, so it doesn't collide with anything. E after 1 time unit will be here, after 2 time units here, and so on. Let's see if it collides with anything. I don't think... Oh, yes it does. After 2 time units, it will collide here with Meteorite Z. Because Z will not collide here with anything, I believe. Now, letter R. It has speed of 3, 1, 2, 3. After 1 time unit, doesn't collide with anything. 1, 2, 3. After 2 time units, it in fact does collide with Meteorite B. Then, letter N here goes by 3, 1, 2, 3. It already collides with... No, it doesn't, because they collide after 2 time units. After 1 time unit, nothing is here, so N will not collide with anything. This W will go upwards, nothing here. Here after 2 time units also nothing. And we already know that those will not collide with anything, so it will not collide. T will go to the right, then collide with nothing here. Then after 2 time units here, also nothing. And so on, because we have already checked the top letters. X will go here and collide with nothing, and then nothing can collide with it here either. So it will not collide. I have missed the N. Let's check what's going on with N. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's really interesting, because it will in fact collide with T. I forgot about this one, Meteorite. So those two will in fact collide here. And we have only V, which won't collide here with anything. Here with any... No, it will not collide anywhere. So we have 4 collision plays. We don't know what to do with them, but this mystery note told us to do so. For now, the solution to the puzzle is PAM, PAM. To solve this puzzle, we need alchemical names of both Aether and Nether, which are Cosmos and Samsok, and nothing else. Here we have unfinished diagram, where we will need to use those names. So let's write them down. Cosmos fits here, and Samsok fits here. Now this is a little something that resembles brain, but it has spirals showing the direction with values inside. Let's try to use this on our letters. We have to start with letter R and go 5 clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next letter would be E, and once again 5 letters clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're on letter M, and we are on different parts of the brain where we still go clockwise, but this time 4 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's letter O. And we are on this quarter where we go counterclockwise by 2 letters to the final letter S. Therefore, the solution to this puzzle is Remos. This puzzle is in fact a little mathematical trick, but I will leave it to you to discover why it works. I will just show you what you have to do. We will follow the instructions. First of all, write the date of your birth in the nest. The date of my birth is the 21st. Add the current month number. So 21, it's January right now, so we have 22. Multiply the result by the number of dancing skeletons in the Limestone Frenzy. Limestone Frenzy was on the page of the Limestone. We can see 3 dancing skeletons right here. So we have to multiply 22 times 3, which is 66. Add the value of gold. The value of gold is 18, So we have to add 66 plus 18, which is 84. Multiply the result by the number of sides of fire. The symbol of the fire is a triangle, so it has 3 sides. 84 times 3 equals 252. Sum the digits of the result, repeat until there is just one digit and write it on the egg. So we have 2 plus 5 plus 2 equals 9. It's already single digit, so I will write it down in the egg. Do what the root tells you to do. This will reveal the secret ingredients compatible with your soul. Write their alchemical names below. So 9 plus 6 is 15. The alchemical ingredient with the value of 15 is sulfur, which name is sulfuris. Then 9 plus 14 is 23. The ingredient with value of 23 is lead, with its name Opium. And finally, 9 plus 3 equals 12. The ingredient with the value of 12 is Aether, which alchemical name is Cosmos. Now, select the 9th letter 4 times in a row. If we will have to, we will go back. So, 9th letter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. S. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. U. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. L. Soul. So, the answer to the Rite of Entrance is Soul. This is the name of our keeper. Rite of Forgetfulness requires pretty a lot of ingredients and their alchemical names. I will not write them down because we will cross them out from here soon enough. So let's follow the instructions. First of all, cross out all ingredients from the astral matrix. This is the astral matrix. So let's go. Soul's alchemical name is Me'anima. We need to find it out here. Let's find Me'anima. It goes here. Next, fire, it's Ignis. Probably if we will find why, yeah, there we go. Ignis. Air, Saeli. Saeli. That one might be difficult because it's really short. Yeah, there it is. Water is Fluidos. It's here. Fluidos. Earth with name Terrata. We need to find 2R. Terrata. Sulfur. It will probably go by sulfur. Sulfuris, exactly. Sulfuris, it's here. Easy to spot. Gold. Gold has alchemical name of Murua. And it's here, M-U-R-U-A. Lead with name Plumbiumas, which is spotted here at the bottom. Silver. Alchemical name of silver is Anuplis, and it is here. Anuplis. Black Tourmaline has alchemical name of Lapiger. Now we need to find out. Oh, here, Lapiger. Great. Nether has alchemical name of Somsok, and it is here. If we read it backwards, it's Cosmos, easy to spot, which also is a chemical name of Aether. Cosmic Dust. Cosmic Dust has alchemical name of Ramoko, which can be found here. Ramoko. Meteorite has alchemical name of Torgota, which is here vertically. And finally, Glass has alchemical name of Palartis, which we have to find. Palatris. Yeah, here. Palatris. Okay. That was just the first step. The most difficult part is before us. The remaining letters, when read from left to right and top to bottom, will reveal a magic word. So let's read it. AB here. RI here. C. A. DA. B here. RIUS. You probably thought it will be abracadabra, no, it's abracadabrius. Use the tablets under the astral matrix and those created by crossing out ingredients. Let's write down the tablets that we have from crossing out ingredients at first. We have here AB. We have here. Yeah, I don't know how to draw nicely. Sorry for that. Then we have here single D, single A. Also another single B. And here, the long one. IUS. Place them in a magical diagram below so that, going from arrow to arrow, letter by letter, horizontally or vertically, you can read the magic word exactly twice. Don't rotate or flip the tablets, use each of them only once. So, going from here to here, letter by letter, we will have to spell abracadabrius twice. So, for sure we will have to start with A, and we will have to end with S. I just missed a little O here, so let's add it to the poll. So the word will be actually abracadabriuso, and we'll have one more tablet here with a single O. So our diagram will end with O, and we will have this tablet already used because we know that single soul tablets in marked squares. Yeah. We will solve this diagram from the end to the start, because it's the simplest way, believe me. We need to have S before O, so here or here we'll have to have S. Let's see what can find here, what can fit here. This one is pretty obvious fit, because it would go right here. And another one that has S on it is here. It will go RIUS. If we would put this one here, then we would have nothing to put up here, because we have only one, which is 4 squares by 1. So RIUS will not go here. The only other tablet with letter S is this one. So we have to use it. BRIUS. Okay, so we have Briuso at the end, so we have to fit A to the left of it. We can do it using this tablet or this tablet, but if we input this tablet here, this place will remain as a single tablet, but we know that single cell tablets are marked. So the only one fitting here is R, B, A, O, A, right here. So we have Abreuso. We need to have D before that, so the single tablet will have to fit the purpose. And before the D, we need to have A, which can only go here, because this one is R. And this is the moment when we have a few possibilities, or not. No, probably just two. We can put this one here, or this one. But if we would put this one, AWA, we would again leave single place for single cell tablet that is not marked. So the only thing that could fit here is ACCA, just like that. So we have A, and we either have this C here, so this is our path so far. If we would go to the app, we would need A somewhere, C-A-R. If we would fit A here, there is no R around, so we would not go upwards from here. So we would need letter C here, am I right? Probably I'm not. I'm not, because this letter is R. I don't know how to read or spell, sorry for that. We will have to go to the app and have a single A here, so that we have A here, R here, so this one will need to be B, and we need to have A either here or here. Current path is like that. What we can fit here with letters A? This could be obvious solution. This doesn't fit, this doesn't fit, this doesn't fit. So, but we can fit this one like that, or like that. We don't know which solution will be correct yet, but we only know that here will be letter A. If we would put this one like that, then here we would have reuse, which could probably work. So let's see, we have only one single cell tablet left, which is B, and we need Abracadabriuso written here. I believe we will have to do this from the beginning right now. So we have A, and we need to have B either here or here. Let's see what is left with B after solving the right part. Only this one little tablet has letter B, so it needs to go there. There is no other way. Now we need to get R, A, C, A, D, and so on. The obvious solution would be to use this one. It fits the bottom left corner. I will just write it down. It probably is the solution. It would be just too convenient for this not to be, so let's go with that. We have A, B, R, A, C, A, D right here. Now we have A, B, C. Abreuso is before now, before us. Okay, so the only way we can have A here is from this tablet. R, A, C, A. Abracadab. Now we need R. So R, I. But there is a twist, because we know we will have to use AWA here. So we will, because this S has no U, so we have Abracadabra U. And finally we have the last one, tablet. Abracadabriuso. So we have the final path, which will be important. When performed well, the rite will show you the number of forgotten souls to date. Here we can see digit 2, here we can see digit 5, here we can see digit 7, and here we can see 0. So the final answer is 2570. Rite of Exit. To solve it, we will need alchemical names and values of all 7 ingredients. Let's read the instructions. Write each ingredient alchemical name around a grayed out area, going clockwise, so like this one. Letters already in the diagram must match. So we have all the O's here. If we calculate number of O's here and here, we know that all the O's are already in the diagram. So here we will have to write some alchemical name that has 3 O's. It is Mokomo. So at each of those 3 spaces there can be only M or C. But we don't know yet which of them. Those 2 names here will need to have 2 O's separated by 2 letters, which is only Cosmos and Somsok. If this one would be Cosmos in the center, then after each O we have S, but we know that here we will need to have M or C. So Cosmos is definitely here. So after each O we have S, and here also M or C, because it can go Cosmos from here or Cosmos from here, we don't know that yet. And here we have Somsok, which means that here is S, so either Somsok right here or Somsok right here. We have once again M or C here. Now we have here name with 2 O's separated by just 1 letter, and it has to contain S. The only one with this is Timestone's Smorok. So we already know this was M, so this is C. And let's go. This name with just 1 O and letters S and C, it can be only Kupros, starting from here. I will mark where we start, it will be required later. Now here we have 2 letters O with C in between, so it will be Ramoko, starting from here, Ramoko. And now only 1 letter O, it will have to be Skorum. We have M here, so we have C here. So this one was Somsok, this one is Cosmos, and this one is Mokomo, starting here. Now, in grayed out areas, write values of each ingredient and mark starting areas of each word. I have already marked starting areas. Now we need to just write the values. This is Ramoko, which is 58. This one is Skorum, which is 21. This one is Cosmos with value of 12. This one is Somsok with value of 30. This one is Mokomo with value of 22. And this one is Smorok with value of 85. Now, oh, and this one, it's Kupros, it's 78. Once again, we have to sum the digits in written numbers, repeat until it has just 1 digit. So this one is 13, so 4, 21 it's 3, 30 it's 3, it's 3 again, 22 is 4, 85 it's once again 13, so 4, and 15, so 6. Starting with marked areas and going counterclockwise, cross out as many letters as the number in the center shows. So let's start here. We need to start with this one, and this time go clockwise, crossing out 4 fields. So 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, 3. 1, 2, 3. And once again here, 3, 1, 2, 3. 4 from here. And here, 4. 6 here, so all the way around. And this is what we have left. We have no idea what the original instruction said, but there's a secret note that tells us it's a trap. If you do as written, you get stuck in a world of dreams forever. This is the real escape room. It's the note from someone marked as M. So we have this little diagram and we have to write it down here. We are starting here, going here, here, and finally here to get the final answer of more. And this is the solution to the Rite of Exit. Rite of Exchange. To solve this rite, we will need alchemical values of those ingredients. I have already written them down in the diagram because it will simplify things a bit in a moment. Let's read the instructions. Draw lines connecting ingredient symbols with their values such that lines always go from center of one area to the center of another area that is horizontally or vertically adjacent. It's the complicated way of telling you just write a line from cell to cell. Lines go through all areas of the right matrix. Lines do not touch or cross. Only one line per square. Okay, so this is the moment when we have to solve this. This kind of puzzle have many ways to solve them quickly. I will try to show my reasoning without using any of the tricks. First of all, let's take a look at 68 here. If it will go through the middle of the diagram, it will probably crash with some other values. So we can assume that it will go all the way around up to here. Alright, next we have 9 here with 9 here. They are both on the edge, so they will have to go all the way around, otherwise we will leave some cells empty. And the same goes with 78 here. What we have now is 94 here, 89 here, 5 here, and again this one here. We just need to connect them in a way that will use all of the cells and well, we'll give the right answer. You'll just have to use your imagination here. I will show you how it will all work out. By going this way, we have created 2 passages from 94 and 89 here. So, this is the first part of the instruction, the diagram that connects ingredient symbols with their values. Let's see what we have to do next. Find areas which no Nether lines ever touch. Mark them. Let's see at the Nether. To solve the Nether, we had to solve the diagram that has the same size as this one. And the instruction tells us, find areas which no Nether lines ever touch. So those will be the black ones. So we have to mark the same areas here. I think that's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's all. Start the incantation from the symbol of the night. This is obviously the moon. Go left and then counterclockwise in an outward spiral. Whenever you find an area marked before, read a letter from it. So, we'll go from here with this outward spiral, looking at what is in the areas. Here we have symbol like that, so let's write down symbols for now. We go on, again, the same symbol. We go outward spiral until we, here we have line like that, and let's go on. And there are no marked space on the outer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, plus the moon. Now we need to use our alchemical alphabet, and this would translate to AA, D, E, K, K, E, L. For now it sounds like a spell to call the Cthulhu, but if you will encounter two of the same letters in a row, ignore one of them. So we ignore one of A's and we ignore one of K. So we have the solution Adekele, which is the answer to the Rite of Exchange. Rite of Awakening. It is probably the most famous rite of this book because there is already a standalone game about this rite alone that you probably know by now. But let's see how easy or difficult it will be. We will need 3 ingredients, fire, limestone, and soul. We will need their alchemical values in a moment. We will need their alchemical names. I have written them down already. So, let's follow the instructions. Write the name and the personal item of the lost soul you want to save. Well, actually, I have no idea what lost soul I want to save, so I will just write down a colleague from work of mine. It will be named Tomasz. And his personal item would be definitely his precious iPhone. I hope Tomasz is watching this. Hello to Tomasz. And let's go. Point 2. Write the ingredients that you know inside the magical circle. I have already done that. We have Ignis for fire, Manima for soul, and Calciga for limestone. After setting the candles properly, which was already done here, follow the light to find the required hidden ingredient and write its alchemical name in the empty space. So the candle that burns the most, so was lit on fire first, will be this one, and we will have to just follow the light. So it will be S A N G A and N. So it's Sangam. We have to write it here. Sangam is actually the alchemical name of blood. So let's add blood here. And the value of blood is 70. Okay, let's go. Arrange digits making values of all 4 ingredients ascending from 0 up. This is pretty straightforward because the digits are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For each following digit, find a personal item of a soul that fits the ingredient with that digit. Always choose a soul that wasn't yet chosen and has the shortest name. First letters of chosen names will create a magic word. Okay, so digit 0 is the first one. It comes from blood. So let's take a look at Lost Souls personal items that correspond with blood somehow. This could be the syringe, and I think it is a test tube. So syringe has Egan as a name of a child, and test tube has Ethan. So Egan is shortest, so we take I for now, and we know that for 7 we will use Ethan, so I will write it down already. Next one is 1, which comes from soul. The only personal item from here that resembles souls somehow, that is not iPhone, iPhones has no souls, is a mirror, because of saying a mirror of soul, it mirrors your soul, it shows your soul. So we have letter N. And then for 2, we have fire. For fire, we have for sure lighter, we have candle, and we have cigar. So the shortest one for lighter is coal C. We'll go for digit 2. Then we have Miron for 6. And Targos for 8. Now we have just 3, 4, 5 for a limestone. What can we do from a limestone? We can do chalk. We can probably use a spatula for putting it somewhere, and obviously a blackboard. So the shortest name is Iris for chalk, then Tommy for spatula. Tommy is the English name of a Tomasz here, so we have double Tommy, and Anastasia. Spell out the magic word out and say it out loud while thinking about the lost soul you are looking for. I will not risk it. I will not think about the lost soul. I will just tell you that the magic word is incitament. Rite of Soul Cleansing. To solve or perform this rite, we will need alchemical names and values of 4 ingredients: soul, mushroom, opium, alcohol. I have already written them down right here. Let's read the instructions. Remember to do everything exactly as written, otherwise you might not recognize yourself when you're done. Okay, book, I will do, I promise. 1. In the corners, write values of 3 ingredients, all but the soul, and there are chemical names on the edges so that names and values are written following the arrow's directions. As we can see here. Name of an ingredient was on the edge opposite to the corner with its value. So if we will have 68 here, we will have Fuingiza here, and so on. Each digit in a corner points to a letter by counting from its corner on a word near that digit. It is actually pretty nicely shown here. If we will have 23 here, we need to take a look at second letter here and third letter here. Letters pointed by a digit from a single corner have to be the same and must be a part of the sole ingredient alchemical name. So we see that those are both B, so that is correct, but B does not exist in the Manima, so this would not be correctly written number. Let's see what we have here. I think we'll start from top. We can have 68, 56, and 58 here on top. If we would have 68 here, then on the 6th letter here and 8th letter here would need to be the same letter. It could be, if Opiatena would go here, it would be Y, and E here, it would be wrong. If Vocitose goes here, then it's C here, and Opiatena O here. So 68 is not on the top. Let's try 58. 58 from Vocitose. So if we would have Fuingiza here, it would be N here, and Opiateno again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It would be O here, so it doesn't fit, or the other way. Opiateno would be A here, Fuinguza A here. So we could write 58 here, but let's see if 56 fits too. 58, 56. If 56 is here, we could have once again Fuingiza, so N here, and Vocitose with 6 letter, it would be O. That's not correct. Vocitose here has Y at this place. Fuingiza has I at this place. So we could have 58 or 56 here. Oh, I hoped it would be easier, but let's go. If we will have 58 here, then we have Vocitose here. Let's just try to make it work. 58 here, Vocitose here, so 58 means we need 58 Opiateno here. Opiateno here, and Fuingiza here. Opiateno's value is 56, and Fuingiza is 68. So those one A are correct. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y. It also appears in Meanima, so this is correct. And 68. 6 here is E. 8 here is E. E also is in the soul name. So this is correctly 58 here. This is correctly filled in diagram. If we would have started with 56, it probably wouldn't work here, so we would have just 2 possibilities to check. After correctly spelling the names and values, begin the rite by following spell notes before. Spell notes are actually letters, and we need to find those letters here. Letters O are here, 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 and here. So if you were to write around them just like the O, we would have symbol resembling this. Letters T, there are just 2 letters T, so the symbol for T is like that. Letters for S, there is 1 S, there is second S, and those are all S's. We once again use alchemical alphabet to decipher this. It is V, this is Y, and this is X. So the spell is actually Vix. Rite of Defence. I think it's pretty important rite if you are doing some sort of magic, so let's concentrate on it for now. We'll need Philosopher's Stone and 3 secret ingredients that we will uncover later. Let's go with the instructions. The small matrix will show you the secret ingredients required for the rite. Use the Philosopher's Stone to remove deceptions left by the keepers. So here we see a little diagram that tells us how the chess knight is moving 2 and 1 all the time. And we need to find Opus Magnum in this small matrix by crossing out the areas that we go through. So this is pretty tricky. I hope I will get it right the first time because there are many possibilities in this small matrix. So let's go. O, P, and now we could go here, here, or here. If we go here, we don't have S as the next letter. So actually I should not cross this one out. This is left for now. We can go U and S here, or U and then we don't have any S. So we need to go here, Opus. Now the only M from here is here, M, and we have 3 A's. And We just need to see which of those works. M, A, G, N, U, and nothing there. M, A, G, N, U, nothing there again. M, A, G, N, U. Okay, that didn't work. We were here. M, A, G, here is another N. M, A, G, N, U, M. And this will be the solution. So Opus M, A, G, N, U, M. Okay, we did it. Great. The remaining areas in rows will reveal the 3 ingredients that you need to perform the rite. So if we read it by rows, here we have 2 cells left with 9 and 4, and 94 is the alchemical value of one of the ingredients, and this is wood with name Lignum. The third row, 85. 85 is the alchemical value of Timestone with name Smorok. And then we have 70, which is alchemical value of something probably. Yeah, I see. Blood, Sangan. Use those ingredients on the right matrix to limit possible keeper's move. If you do everything right, you shall reveal your keeper's name. Okay, so we have Lignum to find here, Smorok and Sangan. So let's start with, I don't know, Smorok or Sangan. We have 2 starting spaces with S, but only one of them can go to M. So we will start with Smorok, and we will go from S to M, and then we have to O, O-R-O, but no C then, so or O-R-O and C here. So we have the only possibility for Smorok is right here. Then we have Sangan. We'll start from here, S, A, N, G, A, N, and then Lignum. We could start from any of those, because we will have to go through this I. But if I would start from here, then we would limit the possible moves from this corner to 0. And we will need moves from the remaining corner in the last step. So we have to start from here. L, I, G, N, U, M, E. And now, if you do everything right, you shall reveal your keeper's name. So, our keeper's name is L, U, C, I, U, S. Those who have played our other games probably know who is Lucius, but for now, this is just the answer to the Rite of Defence. Rite of Contact. To do this ritual, we will need 2 ingredients, alchemical names. Wood and limestone, I have already written them down. So let's follow the instructions. Prepare the required ingredients and write their alchemical names. I have already done that. The ingredients will allow you to fill parts of the contact table, then fill in remaining spaces. We can see here we have the contact table with some hints. Those are small numbers. And those numbers must be connected somehow to our ingredients and letters, because we will be filling letters. They're pretty small, and we have 2 7-letter words Each of the digits from 1 to 7 is twice here, so we can assume that it shows us places in the letter, in the words of letters. So, a letter that occurs on the 2nd and 7th place is letter A, which is here on the 2nd and 7th place of Calcina. The place that is on the 1st and 4th place is also from Calciga, letter C. Then the letter that occurs only on the 7th space is E from Lignume. 3rd and 6th place is letter G, is 3rd here and 6th here. 2nd and 5th, the same way, we have letter I, 2nd here, 5th here. 1st and 3rd will be letter L, which is 1st in Lignume and 3rd in Calciga. Letter that only is on the 6th space is letter M, because we have already used G. And letter on the 4th space is N. And then we have letter that is only on the 5th space. It will be letter U. Then fill in remaining spaces. Now we need to find the rule of how to fill the remaining space. I think that I know the rule, because I know the alphabet, and I will just try and see if it fits here just like that. It's magical. It's the same alphabet as here. So I will use English alphabet for that. Remember that if you solve the book in different language, you always use the alphabet that is here. Okay, we have second step after us. Using the table send a spell. Concentrate deeply when setting each word. Even a tiny mistake can cost you a lot. So let's see what's written here. It's Silus Klu Ewi Boot Genoponwy. I hope no demon came here. Let's see what the table will tell us about this word. Silus is C-A-J-L-U-S. It is 5. Clue, it is C-L-U. It is 1. Ewe, it is, I believe, W-Y. It's L. Bud, B-U-D. It's V. I believe I have started with digits while those were letters. So we have S, Y, L, V, and Genoponwy, which is fantastic. G-E-N-O-P-O-N-W-Y. It is E. So if all goes well, you should understand the speaker's intention by the very first word. The very first word is silver. Rite of Bilocation. To solve this rite, we don't need any other ingredients, we just need the book and our eyes. Let's go to the instructions. On the map, mark the spots where you want to be at the same time and sign them. I honestly have no idea where I would love to be, but I think let's mark it here and maybe, I don't know, somewhere in Africa. Why not? I have never been to Africa and I would love to, so let's mark Africa. The drawing on the right has 10 elements that are different from another drawing somewhere in this book. Your parts will also differ in the same way after you bilocate. So we have to find a similar image. It was at the very beginning. I will try to show it at the same time, but it's nearly impossible with camera this close. And we have to find 10 differences. I have already marked them here to not waste time and looking for them during recording the video, but I will show each of them to you. First one is here on the book. Then we have here missing knob. Here missing part of a frame. Here missing one constellation. Here missing test tube. Here missing an eye, part of an eye actually. Here we have additional symbol that is not on the other book. We have walking stick that is not present on the other. Here we have a little sign of the chalice that is not there. And here we have missing part of a glass things for alchemy. I think those were all 10 differences. The differences hide the spell that, when read from left to right, will make you appear in two places at the same time. When you are ready, simply say it. So, from left to right, the very first difference was here, and the difference had a shape of just a line. The second one from the left is here, and we can see its shape. The third one from the left is here. It was missing part of the glassy thing with a shape like that. Then the next one is a missing knob, that it is simply a dot. Then we have this symbol in the book. I believe it will be this symbol. Then we have missing part of a frame with this shape. Then, there was a walking stick before. I missed it, so we will have walking stick here. And then missing tube, that is once again just a line. Then missing constellation, which is another L-like shape, and part of eyeball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, great, we have all 10 of them. And now let's transpose them using alchemical alphabet. D, U, O, S, M, U, N, D, O, and S again. So the spell is Duos Mundos, and I would really love to get myself to Africa, and I think this is New Zealand. Rite of Blight. It's pretty dangerous, but let's try it out. We will need some ingredients, but for now on we only know something about Adversario, and we will learn about the others later on. Let's go with the instructions. Reveal to the book the name of the target of your spell and the exact type of blight you want to unleash upon them. I was already using name of one of my colleagues, Tomasz, so now I will use name of another of our colleague. It will be Hanna. An exact type of blight that you would like to unleash upon them is a blight of coal. And believe me, she will know what I mean. From the magic drawing, read the parts that are not alchemical symbols, write them under the drawing from left to right. This way you will reveal the secret ingredients required for the blight. Actually, we need to disregard these little parts because they are used with some alchemical symbols, but they are not alchemical symbols themselves, but they make no sense, so we will not look at this. This is just a simple mistake. What we see here, hidden, I will just show you. We have here little, not so little. We have here digit 2, it will be the first digit. And here we have digit 4. which will be the last one because it's totally on the right. Those symbols all go without the circles, the ingredient names. So here we have nice 8 hidden just in our plain sight. It will go in the middle probably. And now we have to take a look at the things in the background, because they seems to be all the time the same, but here we have a little addition that is not part of the sign, and it's a little digit 2 that is hidden. And here between those circles here we have hidden little digit 3. So we have values 23, 8, and 24. Those are 3 ingredients, let's write them down. Ingredient with alchemical value of 23. I'm looking for that right now. It's lit with name Plumbumas. With value 8 we have Philosopher's Stone with Opus Magnum. And then with value of 24 it will be Mercury with alchemical name Cinnabaris. Now, to cast the spell, use the alchemical names of all ingredients, including Adversario. To each of them, the flow of magic has attached a single shape and used it to divide the spell into parts. Knowing all this, you should be able to fill in the matrix part. Actually, with the name of the rite, we have a little hint about this transposing, because it might sound complicated, but it really is not. See how the rite name is transposed. It's important to understand the flow of magic. So, if we have word off and it has this little symbol, we can see that it was broken into O and F, just like that. And if we would take those parts and connect them, it would be off. The same goes with rite. We have Ri here with part of the triangle and Te here, which connects into rite. And the same goes with blight. We have blight here with part of this little shape, and GHT here with form blight. Here we don't know yet what shapes go with which ingredient, but we have a little help from our helpers from before. I have marked areas with the same letter. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marked spots. And if you would count the different letters in these ingredient names, you would easily deduce that letter A is the one which should go into the marked areas. And this little information is the most important. Now let's try and solve it. This part here is the end of a word which has letter A just before the end, second to the last. The only one with such letters is Plumbumas. So we know that Plumbumas will have this little shape, and here we will have MAS. Before that, here will go part BIU, because it must be the middle part, and here we will have Plume. So, we have one ingredient written down, just 3 to go. Then here, this is the ending of the word once again, because we know where the Plumbumas did start. So we are looking for something which has A as the 4th letter from the end. This could in fact be Adversario or Cinnabaris. But if we go a little bit forward, we see that the same word will need to have second A bit before it. So it needs to be Cinnabaris. So last 4 letters, ARIS, NAB here. So we have only CYN here, which fits perfectly. So Cinnabaris is done. Now we have just two, Adversario and Opus Magnum. Adversario has two A's in this, while Opus Magnum has just one. So this A here will be either at the beginning of one of the words going right, or at the end or near the end of the word if it went from the left. The only possibility here, in fact, is that it is beginning of the word adversario, because Opus Magnum has A somewhere in the center. So let's start writing down adversario here. There is A in the right spot. So yeah, I believe we are good. Adversario. And then only Opus Magnum. Well, we have fulfilled all the rules, and our final spell is Rio Opus Numad Vemas Aris Plumsim Biursa Nabmag. Well, it probably means something. A Rite of Love, probably very wanted rite. We will need alchemical names of iron and moonstone for that. I have already written them down, as usually, so let's just follow the instructions. Write a name of we have typo here, of the target of the love charm on the cover of the songbook. I will obviously write the name of my wife here, so that she will never leave me. Write the song title under the stave, one letter per note. The song title is actually Iron Moonstone, written in alchemical alphabet, so it will be Ferayam or Tokrum. The bard's magic notes are describing the letters sung. Using the title, find a rule of their notation that can be used for all letters of the alphabet. Then fill the diagram below by letters, following all given rules. Okay, so let's take a look at the title and try to deduce how it works. First of all, we see that the same letters like O are always on the same line and have the same notes. The same goes with A and all the others. So the noting of letters does not depend on where the letter is, just the letter itself. Now let's take a look at what letters are on what line. The first line we have E and A, and both of them are in the first row of our alchemical alphabet. On the second line, we have F and I, and both of them are on the second line. And so on. On the third line, we have M, O, O, K, L, M. All of them are from the third line. Fourth line of the note sheet, we have R and T from the fourth line. And the fifth line, we have U here and U here. That is pretty special case. I don't know if it appears here or not. We will find out later. So we now know on what note, on what line, what letter will need to be. We just need to know what note. Letter A and letter F and letter K and letter U both all have the same note, just a dot. All of them are in the first column. Letters M, R are in the third column, MR, so they have two lines. L is in the second column, so it has one line. So we see that the note lines and kind of notes depends on the row and column in alchemical alphabet. The line is determined by the row, and the number of these little lines here depends on the column, while the first column has no lines at all, the second column has one line, and so on. So this is the rule of notation that can be used for almost all letters of the alphabet. We don't know how letter Z would be written here, but we probably don't need to. Now, we need to fill the diagram below by letters following all given rules. The rules given here are actually the signs of greater or less. It means that the letter is later or earlier in the alphabet than the next letter. So let's try and solve part of it, and then we will show you the final solved puzzle, because I will not solve it live because it's following the same pattern over and over. So let's go. Letter E is larger than a letter from the first column, so the only possible letter is letter A here. Also, letter E is earlier than letter from first column, which is earlier than letter from the first column, which is earlier than U. Can we solve it right now? E, F? No, we don't. Letter U, it is pretty late in alphabet, should be lower than letter with 3 lines, so this letter is X, the only possibility here. And the letter X is lower than letter from the last row, which is Y. And now between Y and U, we have a letter from the third row, which is W. And so on. You need to find such patterns throughout the whole diagram. We will put here the solution, and from the solution, you will have to just read the spell by going through all these places. Rite of Time Control. To solve the Rite of Time Control, we will need 5 secret ingredients that we will uncover in a moment. We have instructions, but also we have this little note that was added that decoded tells thinner and thinner, so that we will have to go from the most thick to the thinnest part of the puzzle. Instructions. Follow hints to determine the actual time. Okay, let's start with the time with the full stroke. So this part shows us 6, so let's calculate 6 symbols. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is symbol of Aether, and Aether has value of 12. And here we have 3, 1, 2, 3. This is symbol of Nether. Right here, and Nether has value of 13. So the actual time here would be 12:30, which is just like that one line. Now, set the clock correctly to reveal a part of the spell. Exactly, I did just like that. And again, the middle one is here. So we have to go 7 symbols this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is symbol of glass. And glass has alchemical value of 9. And going this way 1. This is alchemical value of sulfur, and sulfur has value of 15. If we set the clock to 9:15, it will be just horizontal line. And then the third one, we have to go for here, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is meteorite, and meteorite value is 5. And going to this, 1, 2. This is also meteorite, so this is also 5. So if we set the clock to meteorite, it would be something like this. So, after following previous steps twice, read the spell out loud, and the spell is D-E-U, deal. Rite of Youth. To perform this rite, we will need quite a lot of ingredients with their alchemical values and their alchemical names that will be needed later. I have already written everything down with Sol as 01 because this is the format that we will need. Let's go with the instructions. Divide the magic calendar into areas consisting of 2 squares each so that each contains a different set of numbers. Their order does not matter. We have numbers from 0 to 4 here, so I will start with writing down all possible combinations of 2 numbers. So it's 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, and then 1, 1, 1, 2. There is no 1, 0 because order of numbers doesn't matter. 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4, and 4, 4. There are 15 possible combinations of those digits, and this diagram is 5 by 6. It has 30 squares. So each of those combinations will need to be ones in this diagram. So let's start solving it. It's not as simple as it looks like. First of all, we can see that 2, 2 is only here. There are no other places where 2 2s are next to each other. So those 2 need to go together. And we already have 2, 2. Great. This 4 can be only with this 4. So we also have 4, 4. And those were the simple ones, probably. Now, oh, we have 3, 3 here. 3, 3, 3. Okay, so this is the only place where 3 and 3 are next to each other. This is great. This is going really well so far. 1, 1 is here and here, so nothing of the sort. Now we need to find something that is unique. I have found here that 1 and 4 next to each other is only here. There are no other places where 4 is near 1, so those 2 have to go together. So we have already 1 and 4, then here we need to have 1 and 1, simply because it's the only possibility left. Here 0 and 4, so we have 0 and 4, 3 has to go with this 0. So we have 0, 3, and here we have 0, 1. So this is pretty much most of it solved. With 0 we have only 0, 0, and 0, 2. This 1, 0 can be only connected to one of those 2. If this would be connected, we would have no 0, 0s. So those 2 zeros needs to go together. Now here we have 4 and 2. Now this 0 need to connect with 2, so this one is connected to 3 here, and this 0 to this 2. So we have 1, 3, 0, 2. And the remaining ones, 2, 3 here, and we only have 1, 2, and 3, 4. So that's it. We have divided the diagram into areas consisting of 2 squares each so that it contains a different set of numbers. Cross out areas that contain the same digits as any of the right ingredients. 1-digit values are treated as if they had a 0 preceding their numbers. So we have to cross out those areas. So first of all, 0, 1. Let's cross you out. 0, 1. 3, 3. 3, 3 is here. 2, 4. Where we have 2, 4. Here. 2, 4. Great. 1 and 2. 2 and 3. 3 and 0. 3 and 1. And 2 and 2. They will reveal your secret ingredient. I don't know if you see this clearly, but we have left here a little line that can be read as 1, and here, nice letter, or digit 5 or letter S. If we write it down, we have 15, which is the alchemical value of sulfur with alchemical name of sulfuris. Okay, we have secret ingredient. Remove from ingredients those that share even a piece of their alchemical name with the secret ingredient. So now we have to take a look at the names and compare the letters. Me'anima has I, which is the same as I in sulfuris, and the same goes with Sarisas, Cinnabaris. Cosmos has letter S, it is the same Cosmos. The same goes with Plumbiumas, Somsok. We are down to Ramoko and Mokomo. Both of them have the same letters as sulfuris. Permanently remove from the diagram all digits of the ingredients that are left. These digits are 1, 2, and 3. So let's do just that. Let's remove all 1, 2s, and 3s. Remaining areas will reveal the spell or the name of the one that is currently using its powers. If we look at this little arrow that is really important, it tells us how to read what is left. So we have to read it like that. First of all, this one, and then this one. And we can uncover that the name of the one is B-E-N. And this is the answer to the Rite of Youth. The Omniscience is the final rite that you will do in this book. To solve it, you need to solve all the remaining rites, because in the app you will be given a little pieces of images for each ritual that you solve. In total, there will be 13 pieces. One of them will tell you in which order you will be reading the other 12. As you look at the frames on the Omniscience, those are the frames that are the same as the frames of 3 chapters. This frame is exactly the same as this, just reverted colors, black is white, white is black. Frame from chapter 2, it is exactly the same as this one. Again, black is white, white is black. And the same goes with chapter 1, with frame here. The images that you have in the app must form some kind of symbols. Those are always symbols of alchemical ingredients or rites that you will find in the chapters. This is one of those images. This is another one. And this is the third one. When you put all of them in the right places and use the 13th plate to know in which order chapters should be read, you will see the letters that will form a single word. This word is cognate, and this is the final answer to the final puzzle. But beware, before entering this answer, make sure that you are ready for what follows. Thank you.